Tsukasa Mizugaki rushes to Terminal Service Number 1, which is one of the offices in Psy-Corps, on the first day of his new job. There, he learns about Giftia Android, which is made to live on synthetic souls for up to 9 years and 4 months, if it wants to live as long as it can. Isla is a smart, well-liked employee who knows a lot about herbs and tea. This is well known within the company. Isla and Tsukasa will work together as business partners. Michiru Kaneshima, who trains Tsukasa, and her partner Zack are the ones who take the two people outside. Not long after Tsukasa and Isla are sent to get Nina, a childlike Giftia that an old woman named Chizu Shirahana owns, Zack gets a Giftia to show Tsukasa what they have to do, and Mitsuru tells him what they have to do. This happens not long after Tsukasa and Isla are told to go get Nina. Even though Isla tries several times, she can't get Chizu to talk to them. This makes Tsukasa question her abilities. Chizu hears Nina say that she wants to be taken away so she won't bother Chizu, whom Nina loves very much. After Chizu finally gets a chance to talk to Nina, they have this conversation. Chizu finally agreed to let Nina go when she realized she had forgotten about Nina's funeral plans. She thanked Kasa when she said she was sorry for her mistake. Yasutaka Hanada is a spotter who has worked for Terminal Service Number 1 for 10 years. Tsukasa meets him. Sherry is Tsukasa's partner, and Yasutaka asks him how he got his job. Sherry is surprised and annoyed by how distant Yasutaka is. Yasutaka has been working there for a decade. Tsukasa says that his father is friends with one of the company's higher-ups, who helped him after he failed his entrance exams. In the organization, this friend is in a position of power. After another failed attempt to get Michiru Tsukasa and tell him off, he takes the blame for the problem back at the office, even though Isla was the one who caused it. He goes to the room where the unit tests are being done after getting a message about her. There, he meets Eru Miru and Mikishiro Tetsuguro, who are judging Isla's physical skills. When Tsukasa asks Isla about the physical training, she tells him that she thinks she is holding him back because she has been away from the battlefield for so long. Because of this, Tsukasa decides that she should talk to the Giftia owners instead of Isla, even though this isn't usually a spotter's job. The next day, he asks Michiru and Zack for help to get a head start on putting together his own owner negotiation manual. After he's done, he runs into Yasutaka, who finds out that Isla has been going to the unit testing room. Yasutaka says that Isla's visits are pointless because her physical abilities are always getting worse, which is a Giftia trait that can't be changed. He runs into Yasutaka again when he is done. Later, Tsukasa and Isla were able to get the Giftia they were supposed to get. At the same time, an experienced scout named Kazuki Kawanomi and Yasutaka talked about Isla's lifespan, which is about to end in less than 2,000 hours, giving her less than 3 months to live. Tsukasa and Isla were given the task of getting the Giftia. As part of the rules for the Terminal Service Number 1 marksman and spotters duos, Tsukasa has to share a room with Isla in the company dormitory. On the other hand, he finds it unsettling that Isla chooses to ignore him over and over again. Last but not least, Kazuki talks to Tsukasa about the problem. He tells her that Tsukasa doesn't just ignore him when she's in her time, she also ignores other people. If he then wants to talk to Isla, she tells him to take Isla to a certain place. He does what was suggested, and he is successful in getting Isla to go shopping with him at a nearby mall. After that, they go to a store that sells herbs. Tsukasa asks Isla to help him choose some herbs to give as a gift to someone who, by accident, he says is a lot like her. This gives them a little extra time. Then, they go to a nearby amusement park, where Tsukasa finally says that the person he was talking about was Isla. When he tells her that he did this to make memories with her about their relationship, she shuts down emotionally and tells him that she wasn't made to play at an amusement park. This surprises him. She says that she wasn't made to go to an amusement park. When she leaves, he goes to a park and buys a pendant to put on a keychain. He then brings it back to their dorm room and tells her she can get rid of it if she doesn't want it. She also apologizes for how she got away, and even though Eru had told Tsukasa that Isla didn't like getting gifts, she decides to make an exception for the keychain. Terminal Service can get 7 brand new retrieval missions, and Tsukasa and Isla have been given the job of getting a Giftia named Marcia. They are also warned that there are criminals who pose as Terminal Service workers in order to steal gift items and sell them on the black market. Tsukasa and Isla go to America's house and find out that after Sota Waikane's parents died, America is raising her as if she were an older sister. Sota is mean to Tsukasa and Isla when he gets home from school, but he is willing to sign the agreement form to take Marcia away, which surprises everyone. He says that he made the right choice because Marcia is a Giftia and Giftias can't be trusted to tell the truth. They can't get a signature because of how Sota acts, which makes it impossible for them to do so. Tsukasa tells Michiru about the meeting, and he tells him that the best way to solve the problem is to convince Sota that Marcia really loves him. Because of this, Tsukasa, Isla, and Marcia decide that they will need help from Michiru and Zack to finish the job of baking a cake for Sota's birthday the next day. After that, Mitsuru tells Tsukasa that she did everything she could to stop her father, who was a Giftia, from being retrieved, which led to her father becoming a wanderer. A wanderer is a Giftia that keeps its motor skills but loses its personality and memories. This makes it more aggressive and driven by instinct as it gets older. Mitsuru did everything she could to stop the rescue of her father. When Sota gets home, his friends and family are waiting for him, and they all find it funny that his birthday cake is based on one he had 3 years ago. He thinks about the people he loves and tells Marcia that he's sorry. The day before the retrieval, a shady man who says he is Tsukasa and Isla's replacement at the Terminal Service shows up at Sota's house and asks for Marcia. When Marcia is carrying some groceries back to her house, she is suddenly met by the men from the first episode. Later, Tsukasa and Isla get a job offer from Sota, who tells them that Marcia has gone missing. Based on this information, they think that Marcia's disappearance was caused by a black market. Retriever, Tsukasa decides to find Marcia and bring her back to Sota even though she only has 24 hours to live. The other people from Terminal Service Number 1 help look for Marcia, too. The office narrows its search the next day to an area where a black market retrieval service might be. Even so, a unit from our security, a private security company hired to help with the investigation, is getting in the way of their work. As the retrievers get ready to head to the area, Kazuki runs into Shinonome, who is in charge of the unit. Shinonome gives Kazuki a map of the area where security is currently in place. Tsukasa is given and taught how to use a gun-like device that, when used with the Wanderer's transformation, is meant to stop all Giftia's functions right away and for good. After that, Kazuki walks up to him and asks if Isla will be able to handle the situation. They soon have to change the subject, though, because of what's going on. Later, Michiru tells Tsukasa how Kazuki tried to save her father when he became a wanderer, but he hurt Kazuki and was killed soon after by our security. Michiru tells Tsukasa that when her father became a wanderer, Kazuki tried to save him. When the dead body of the retriever that was sold on the black market is found, it is clear that Marcia has become a wanderer. Kazuki tells the other retrievers to stop Marcia so that she doesn't get killed by our security team. When Tsukasa and Isla finally find Marcia, they find out that Sota has been following them the whole time. Marcia then hurts Isla and takes Sota hostage. Isla and Tsukasa follow Marcia to a rooftop, where Tsukasa almost gets Marcia to give up. But when Sota calls Marcia's name, Marcia snaps and starts strangling him, which causes Tsukasa to pull out his software destruction device and get ready to shoot Marcia. But just as he's about to shoot her, Isla rushes. Isla started to feel bad that she didn't go with Kazuki when she went to get Judy's father. Kazuki broke her ankle when it was found out the next morning that she hadn't signed her attendance log from 3 years ago. This was found out when it was seen that Isla hadn't signed her attendance log from 3 years ago. Kazuki gave up her job as Isla's spotter as a direct result of this. In the present day, it is clear that Tsukasa's device hit Marcia, but Isla was able to deflect most of the blow without getting hit herself. Isla is getting treatment for the injuries that Marcia gave her, and Tsukasa has been moved to desk duty because Isla came to see him. Isla notices that he is still hopeful despite what happened, and when most of our maintenance work is done, she asks him in private how he feels about it. Isla goes back to the office and realizes that she has been paying a lot more attention to Tsukasa lately. She tells Michiru and Eru about it, but they think she is in love with him, so Eru decides to help Isla stop with cancer. However, after several failed attempts to watch him, Isla tells Michiru that she is confused by Tsukasa's constant optimism toward her. Michiru then tells her that Tsukasa never forgets what happened with Marcia, that he even forgot to do his desk work to apologize to Sota for what happened, and that Tsukasa is smiling because he is sad about what happened. Isla runs out of the dorm after night falls, expecting to find Tsukasa waiting for her, but she is surprised to find that he is not there. She goes to the office, where she finds Tsukasa learning that she only has 1,000 hours left to live, which is the same as a month. When a new Giftia offers to work with her, she turns it down. Isla is happy to hear that Tsukasa wants to keep working with her in the future. Thanks for watching. If this series is the most liked in my anime recap production, I will make a part 2. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to help me make more content.